Hey, what's up, everyone? How you doing today? My name is Tim Penner, and I'm working on a brand new track here. And I figured while I'm working in this session, I may as well bring you guys in to show you just what I do when I come to percussion. And I find one of the best elements to a track is the percussion, and one of the most important parts of that percussion is how to make it feel organic and how to have a flow and a groove to it and a little bit of a swing. Oftentimes people get in the habit of quantizing their notes and keeping it specifically on beat. And today I'm going to show you a couple of techniques that I've developed over the years on how to bring space and kind of bring a three-dimension and an organic rhythm to it. So what we're going to do here, I've got a little bit of a groove going on. I've got my kick and I've got some bass rhythms going on. And we're going to add a little bit of percussion over top. So I'm going to show you how I do that. Here's the groove. And what I want to do over top is I want to just add a little bit of a atmosphere hat to it. So what I'm going to do is something like this. Okay, and in order to do that, what I've already done is, if you've seen my other tutorials, you know that I like to use impulse a lot. I just find it works for my workflow. But what I've got is I've got 4 different hat sounds. Similar, but a little bit different. The important thing to percussion, if you look at a live band or instrument, when a human is actually playing on the drums or playing an instrument, there's a natural organic imperfection to it. And what we're going to do with the hats is manipulate the velocity and manipulate how they flow back and forth to try to recreate that human imperfection. So what I've got a new sequence here. And I'm going to just go back and forth, something like this. I'm going to play it along just so you can hear what I'm trying to do. Okay, so we've got the timing down. Now, how do we make this feel a little bit more organic? We're going to first play with some of the velocity to give it a little bit of the swing element. So I want to go harder hit on the first note. And then we pull the velocity down on this one. Keep this one up, but still change it a little bit so it's not the same as the first. Pull this one down, change this one. And just by doing this with the mouse organically, you're going to create differences in the notes. Each one is going to sound just a little bit different. And even though people don't realize that it's changing, the subconscious has a way of tapping into that imperfection, and it just gives a little bit more of that organic feel that we're going for. So just by playing with the velocity here, I'm going to keep just manipulating a little bit. Okay, I think something like that is going to work. Now, next thing we're going to do is even create a little bit more imperfection. And the way that I do that is I'm going to actually pan these notes, these sounds in different directions. So each one, so say the first one here, I'm going to pan it slightly to the left. The next note, I'm going to pan it slightly to the right. And do that again with these ones. I'll even go a little bit more dramatic just for the effect of the tutorial here. So a little bit of subtle panning here that starts to get people's minds into it in a subconscious way. And that's really what we're trying to tap into. They don't have to know you're doing it for it to impact them. So there's that one. Next one I want to do is I want to make a little bit of a shaker. So what I like to do with shakers is on the offbeat, so something like this. And so with shakers, I've actually got 6 of them in here. So on the offbeat, so right about here. So it's going to go something like play it. Okay, so see, we're working around the hats, and we're also working around the kick. So let's do the same thing here. I want all of these to sound and hit a little bit different. So first one's going to hit just a little harder. But each one you want to be just a little bit random on the velocity, making sure that you still have emphasis on the sound that's most important. Okay, and now we're going to do the same thing with the panning. Whoops. Okay. Immediately starting to take different form, and just with that panning alone starts to really add that the third dimension, a wide image to your track, and that's very important. Now you don't have to go as drastic as I did, just to give a little bit of that ambience to it. Now you can see on both of these I've also added a little bit of reverb, not too much reverb, just a little bit of a tail to it. You don't want too much reverb because if you do that too many times on your percussion, it starts to get muddy. But here, nice and clean, short tail on the reverb. Now one other thing that I also like to do, just to give a little bit more of that imperfection to the percussion, is manually pull them off the grid, just a little random, right? And that adds a little bit more of the human element to it, the human element that we're trying to recreate here. Sometimes what I do is, if I want it extremely organic and not repeated, I'll actually take this stuff and I will duplicate this over sometimes 2 or 4 different types of loops, right? And then I'll do the same thing again. I'll actually go in and I'll change the velocity of these ones, and sometimes I'll even, I'll change the notes completely to keep the same rhythm, but so that the different shakers are hitting at different times. And so when people try to pick up on a pattern to it, they hear the pattern, but they don't hear the mundane repetitiveness that you so often get in electronic music. It keeps that human element alive, and that's really the most important thing here. Like I said before, it doesn't have to be audible for it to make a difference to somebody. So that's some of my percussion tips right there. Of course, it works with all your hats and shakers and sometimes snares and all different kinds of things. I'll even use this with different notes and synths as well. So you can use this technique in all kinds of different applications. But remember, subtlety makes a difference. The subconscious is a very powerful thing, and it's those very small, very tiny details that sometimes make the difference. So I hope you enjoyed today's tips. Go on, see what you can do with it, practice. Let me know what you think of the video. Once again, guys, thanks for watching. Hope you have a great day.